All right, Chad, our next installment of the Gun Bully segment is we're going to submerge this AR-15 into this pond out here. Now we're going to lower this thing down in there. We're going to leave it in there for a few hours while we go out here to the range and do some shooting on another weapon. We're going to fire it immediately to see how it fires wet and with the gunk and the mud, and if it even gets gunky or muddy, but don't really expect a whole lot to happen.
Yeah, we've had a lot of requests doing these little tests for people wanting to see the gun shoot as soon as it comes out. So this is one of the ones we're going to pull it out and shoot it pretty much right away.
So we're going to lower it in there, and then we'll come back, pull it out, fire it at the range.
That's good.
We summoned our team of all-terrain ballistic submersion experts and quickly set off to put this AR-15 underwater and let it sit there for a few hours. The murky waters of Louisiana typically aren't quite this clear, but it did give us the opportunity to be able to witness the gun lying in the bottom of the pond pretty easily, and gave us the chance to make sure that we moved the gun around a little bit to get all the air bubbles out to allow water to get all the way inside the weapon. Once we'd ensured that we accomplished that, we left it there for a little while and went off and fired some weapons at the range. The weapon was resting peacefully right where we left it underwater. And of course, nothing seemed out of the ordinary for an AR-15 sitting in the bottom of a pond. Now, while rust and corrosion are definitely an issue on the steel parts, obviously the polymer parts and the aluminum parts have no threat of anything going wrong. However, the dirty water and the potential for a little bit of grit in these small working parts was more of a concern when pulling this weapon straight out of the water and firing it immediately, which was what we were exactly going to do here in a second. And this being done without cleaning or lubricating the weapon. Okay, we're pulling this thing out of the water. It's been in the water for a good 2, 3, 4 hours. We know that the water itself, being underwater, is not going to cause a whole lot of damage. We're going to immediately load a dry magazine into this thing and fire it. Todd's going to run it down range real quick, and we're going to show that this thing fires just fine coming straight out of the water. We loaded up more of our steel case ammo and prepared to fire the weapon. And remember, we have not cleaned nor lubricated this weapon. Notice the accumulated condensation being forced out of the ejection port and the tip of the barrel on the first few shots. Here it is in slow-mo. Then we went to town. Once again, not one single malfunction on this Windham Weaponry MPC AR-15. After never cleaning the packing cosmoline off of this weapon, never lubricating it, after freezing it solid for 2.5 days in a block of ice, and after letting it lie in the bottom of a pond for a few hours, nearly 500 steel case rounds fired through this thing and not even a single malfunction. Next up, sand and mud.
I like to picture Jesus as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.